Welcome to Rollover Rules 101. Today we will debunk the contribution myth and show you how to protect and grow your old 401k or 403b when you leave a job. First, we will clarify what actually happens to contributions when you change employers. Next, we will examine the risks of doing nothing. Then, we will compare your best rollover options and walk through step-by-step instructions to execute a clean, penalty-free move. Finally, we will test your knowledge with a quick quiz and wrap up with key takeaways. Here is our agenda. First, we debunk the myth about continuing contributions after leaving a job. Second, we identify immediate risks to small accounts. Third, we outline the main rollover options. Fourth, we provide a step-by-step guide to execute a rollover. Fifth, we cover direct versus indirect rollovers. Sixth, we compare IRA types. Seventh, we show how to keep saving using the 15% guideline. Then we include short quizzes. And finally, we summarize key points and next steps. Let's start with the contribution myth. Many people assume they can keep contributing to their old 401k or 403b after leaving a job. In reality, contributions stop immediately because employer plans are funded through payroll deduction. If you are no longer on that employer's payroll, you cannot contribute to that employer-sponsored account. You cannot link your new salary to the old account, and you cannot mail personal checks to keep contributing. This is true whether your former employer was a tax-exempt organization or not. Before we proceed, a quick disclaimer. This content is for educational purposes only and is not financial, tax, or legal advice. Your situation may be different, and rules can change. Please consult a fiduciary financial advisor or a qualified tax professional before making decisions. Here's why contributions stop. Employer-sponsored plans like 401k and 403b accept contributions only through payroll systems. When you leave, that pipeline closes. Your old plan cannot accept contributions from a new employer's payroll, and personal checks are not allowed as contributions to that old plan. Your existing balance stays invested where it is, subject to the plan's investments and fees, but no new contributions will be added unless you choose to roll those funds into a new account that you control. If your balance is small, particularly under $7,000, take action quickly. Some plans may automatically cash out small balances if you do nothing, creating a taxable event. Alternatively, they might move the money into a default or safe harbor arrangement, where fees and limited investment options could erode your savings. The bottom line is that inertia can be costly. Moving promptly to consolidate and control your money helps prevent losses and simplifies your financial life. This flowchart starts with the moment you leave your job and face an old 401k or 403b balance. From there, it shows four paths. First, you can roll into your new employer's 401k, which simplifies tracking but ties you to that plan's investment menu and fee structure. Second, you can roll to an IRA, either traditional or Roth, which gives broad investment choice and typically lower fees, though it requires you to manage the account. Third, you could cash out, which we strongly discourage due to income taxes and, if under age 59.5, a 10% penalty plus the loss of future growth. Fourth, you might leave the money in the old plan if allowed, but that often means fragmented accounts and ongoing fees. The recommended route for control is usually the IRA. Let's compare options side by side. Option A is rolling into your new employer's 401k. This gives you one login and a consolidated statement. And while the rollover itself does not earn a match, your future contributions in the new plan may benefit from matching. Some large plans also offer institutional share classes with favorable costs. However, you will be restricted to the plan's menu and fee structure. Option B is to roll into an IRA. This provides maximum control, access to a wide list of investments, and generally fewer plan-level fees. It remains portable, regardless of where you work. The trade-off is that you must select and maintain your investments. For many seeking control and flexibility, the IRA is preferred. Here are the practical steps. First, collect your latest statement and the plan's contact information. Second, choose your destination, either your new employer's plan or an IRA. Third, if you need an IRA, open it first so it is ready to receive funds. Fourth, call your old plan and request a direct, trustee-to-trustee rollover. Fifth, Ensure that pre-tax dollars go to a pre-tax account and Roth dollars go to a Roth account to avoid unintended tax consequences. Sixth, if the plan issues a check, make sure it is made payable to the receiving custodian for your benefit, not to you personally. Seventh, follow the receiving institution's instructions to deposit any physical check promptly. Eighth, after the money arrives, choose your investments and set or update beneficiaries. Finally, document the transaction and confirm that the entire amount transferred correctly. Let's clarify the mechanics. A direct rollover is sent from the old plan to the new account without you taking possession of the money. There is no mandatory withholding, and it is the simplest way to avoid mistakes. An indirect rollover pays the money to you. For distributions from employer plans, there is typically a 20% mandatory withholding for taxes, and you must redeposit the full amount within 60 days, replacing the withheld amount from your own funds if you want a complete rollover. Missing the 60-day window usually makes the distribution taxable, and, if you are under age 59 and a half, subject to the 10% early withdrawal penalty. Also note that the one rollover per 12-month rule applies to indirect IRA to IRA rollovers, but not to direct transfers or rollovers from employer plans to IRAs. This timeline illustrates the indirect rollover window. On day 0, you receive the distribution, often with 20% withheld for taxes if it came from an employer plan. From days 1 through 59, the funds sit in your personal account and the clock is ticking. On day 60, the window closes. To avoid tax, you must deposit the full gross amount, including the withheld portion, into an eligible retirement account. After day 60, if you miss the deadline, the distribution is generally taxable, and if you are under age 59 and a half, subject to a 10% penalty. A direct trustee-to-trustee rollover bypasses this entire timeline and avoids withholding. Now let's compare IRA types. A traditional IRA accepts pre-tax rollovers from old employer plans, preserving tax deferral. A Roth-IRA is funded with after-tax money, so Roth dollars from a plan should go into a Roth-IRA to maintain their tax-free potential. Converting pre-tax plan dollars to a Roth-IRA is possible, but creates taxable income in the year of conversion. Your choice should consider your current tax bracket, your expected future bracket, and how long the money will remain invested. When in doubt, keep like to like, pre-tax to traditional, and Roth to Roth, and consult a tax professional for conversion strategies. This pie chart displays a simple way to hit the 15% savings goal. First, direct enough of your income into your new employer's 401k to capture the full match. That portion is represented by the larger slice. Then, allocate the remainder to an IRA to gain control and flexibility. The exact split will vary by plan match formula and your personal circumstances, but the principle remains to prioritize the match first and then use an IRA to complete the 15% target. Here is a practical 15% plan. Use this checklist. First, set your new 401k contribution rate to capture the full employer match. Second, open an IRA to provide flexibility and potentially lower fees for the remainder of your savings. Third, automate contributions on each payday so you never miss a deposit. Fourth, rebalance periodically and review your fees at least once a year. The target is to save about 15% of your income annually in tax-advantaged accounts. If that feels high, start lower and increase by 1% every quarter until you reach the goal. If your employer plan is expensive, contribute enough to secure the match, then put the rest into your IRA to maintain control. Quiz time. Question: true or false? Small 401k or 403b balances, especially under about $7,000, can be automatically cashed out or eroded by fees if you do nothing. Option A is true. Option B is false. You may pause the video now to think about the answer. We will discuss the answer in the next section of the video. The correct answer is true. Small balances are at higher risk of forced distributions or fee erosion. Acting quickly to consolidate into a new employer plan or an IRA can protect your savings and keep your retirement on track. Second quiz question. Which option typically gives you the most control and flexibility over investments and fees? Option A: leave money in the old plans. Option B: cash out the account. Option C: roll to your new employer's 401k. Option D: roll to an IRA. You may pause the video now to think about the answer. We will discuss the answer in the next section of the video. The correct answer is roll to an IRA. An IRA typically offers the broadest investment menu, fewer plan-level fees, and full portability, giving you maximum control over your retirement assets. Here are the key takeaways. Contributions to your old employer plan stop when you leave a job. Do not let inertia damage your savings, particularly if your balance is small. For control and flexibility, an IRA is often the best destination, while rolling to a new 401k can simplify consolidation. Favor direct rollovers to avoid withholding and the 60-day pitfalls. Target saving about 15% of your income, capturing employer matches first, and using an IRA for flexibility. Above all, avoid cashing out early, because it typically triggers taxes and penalties and sacrifices future growth. Let's recap. First, you cannot continue contributing to a former employer's plan once you leave. Second, act quickly on small balances to avoid forced cash-outs and fee erosion. Third, select your destination, either the new 401k for simplicity or an IRA for maximum control. Fourth, use direct rollovers to minimize mistakes and avoid withholding. Fifth, maintain momentum by saving about 15% of your income and prioritizing employer matches. Finally, do not cash out unless you meet exceptions, because taxes and penalties can seriously harm your long-term wealth. Thank you for watching. If this helped, please like the video, share it with someone who is changing jobs, and subscribe for more smart money guidance. Tell us in the comments what your next rollover step will be and any questions you would like us to cover in future videos.